Hey y'all, and welcome to Fresh Picked Farmhouse. Now today's DIY had some challenges, but it turned into this beautiful spring floral arrangement. Alright y'all, so this DIY was originally intended to be a bird nest topiary. So that's what I had envisioned, and I went out and I got the materials. Everything came from the Dollar Tree, of course. Loving the Dollar Tree lately. So my intention was to take my little container that I had aged in a previous DIY, the little flower and garden container, and I was going to fill it with some moss, and then I was going to make these cute little bird nests, and I was going to suspend them on that little wooden dowel and have this beautiful little topiary. But y'all, sometimes things just don't work out the way that you intended it. So here I am getting my moss, filling the base of this little container with my moss, and what I was doing was mixing some different materials, different green moss, some reindeer moss and green moss, and some other shredded green material that kind of looks like raffia, and just trying to make it look natural. And I actually grabbed a bag of potpourri, and you can see here I'm grabbing some spray adhesive that I also picked up at the Dollar Tree. So I had placed a few little pieces of potpourri down in there, and it was looking really cute. So I'm reading the directions, and it says shake well. So yep, shake well. So shake, 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 shake. And shake. Shake it like a Polaroid picture. Alright, so now I'm just spraying my adhesive and just trying to get all that in there. Get it to hold into place. And so I'm deciding what I want to use. I got these cute little succulents at the Dollar Tree and these cute little floral bouquets, and I was thinking I'm just going to put some at the base of this topiary, and here I am putting those little pieces of potpourri in there. I like these little potpourri little stems and twigs. They're so cute. I mean, I could have just went out in my yard and grabbed something, but hey, these were $1 at Dollar Tree and they smell like vanilla, so I thought that was a win. So I just carefully glued these little pieces of potpourri in till I got it where I was liking it and I was happy. So that was looking cute. I was doing good. So I grabbed this cute little floral bouquet from the Dollar Tree. I love these though. They kind of look like little succulents. They have like a texture to them, so they're kind of, I don't want to say furry, but I don't know how else to explain it. So they're kind of fuzzy, furry, textured, and they're actually really decent sized little floral bouquets. So I wanted it to look natural, so I just placed it in there, and that was looking good. So I spun it around, and since they're pretty large, two really did the trick. So I grabbed another one. Now this one had some different little flowers on it, and I stuck it in. Knocking everything over. Looking for stuff. It was just, this was just turning into a big hot mess. I'm just going to be honest. My scissors, they weren't even working. So finally, here we go. I decided to trim this bouquet down just a little bit, just so I could get some variations in height. So I stuck that one there in the middle. And the floral foam that I got for this DIY was also from Dollar Tree. I didn't show this in the video, but I just hot glued those floral foam, the round disc from the Dollar Tree. I ended up using 2 packs, so a total of 4 of those little discs, and 2 come to a pack. So here I am just putting these little floral stems in there, and I'm loving it. It's looking really organic, really pretty and natural. And then I grabbed my little succulent, and I love this, and it has texture too, and it blends really, really well with these floral bouquets. So I tucked it in the base. So loving that. And I grabbed another succulent and tucked it in. And I was really happy with how this is looking. Because we have our little antiqued bucket from the Dollar Tree that says Flowers and Garden. I did a previous DIY on how to get some rusty and some aging effects out of these little floral buckets or Flowers and Garden buckets. And so if I'm smart enough, I'll try to figure out how to link the link to that video in the description box. I may have to consult my teenager to help me with that. But that was fun, aging those little buckets. And I took mine one step further, and I actually put a coat of Waverly brand paint. They have a white wax. And so I went over my bucket with the white wax. So I got these little strainers from Dollar Tree. And my idea was to use the mesh out of the strainer to help me to form the bird nest for the topiary. Since it was going to be suspended on this little wooden dowel, I thought I needed some type of form to hold it, because you can definitely just use spray adhesive or hot glue and make these little bird nests. But since mine was going to be suspended, I thought I would be smart and get this little strainer, metal strainer from the Dollar Tree. And I pulled out the mesh from it, tossed that to the side, and I had my little piece of mesh that was in the perfect shape for a bird nest. I don't know why I was thinking I was forming it into something there. So then I needed to cut a hole in it. And do y'all lose your scissors like every time you're doing something? Like every time. I will literally have my scissors, turn around, and I have no idea where they are. Well, then I finally found them. Especially when I'm wrapping presents. Christmas time, I lose my scissors 100 times and I don't move anywhere. I cannot explain that or figure that out. So I took my scissors, put a little hole in the bottom, put it on the little dowel. Again, forming the mesh. Don't know why. I thought, yeah, that's going to work. But then I was like, well, maybe these flowers are a little too high. So I thought maybe I can just push those down and tuck those in just a little bit tighter and make room for this little topiary. So I just tucked those little flowers in just a little tighter into the bucket. Thought that was looking good. Now, y'all, here comes the funny part. I'm happy with that. And then I attempt to make a bird nest. So, y'all sit back and watch this big fat fail. It's pretty funny. So after all that struggling, I just ripped the wood dowel out, threw that bird nest looking thing to the side, and I really kind of liked how the flowers were. I had kind of smashed them down in there and tucked them in there. So I was like, I can just work with this. So I went to my old trusty friend, Spanish moss. So I just got a little snip of that Spanish moss, because I was determined I was going to have a bird nest. So I just took that Spanish moss in my hand and just molded it into a nice little bird nest. And when I say little, I mean little. It was just a cute little bird nest that I was just going to tuck in the front of that little arrangement. So I grabbed that adhesive glue and just took my hand and just molded me a bird nest. So that was looking cute. So I tucked it right in that little empty space, like a little birdie had just come along and made a little nest in my flower arrangement, which they actually do. So I took my spray adhesive just to kind of hold that in place. And now that is cute. What I was doing before, not cute. This is turning out cute. So I just continued grabbing little things like moss just to see how I liked it. Didn't like it. Nope. I was like, forget that. Took that moss back out, the green moss. I didn't really like how it looked. This Spanish moss just makes it look like a very realistic bird nest. So I grabbed my little bag of potpourri, that vanilla potpourri I picked up from Dollar Tree, and picked out a few little things and just tucked them in that bird nest. And I thought they looked cute because, you know, those birdies, they will get anything and everything to make their nest. So I'm just kind of playing around, seeing how I like things, and that looked pretty cute. And some things I didn't like in there. I was like, nope, forget that. So I was looking for these little things. So I've got these little things. I don't know what they're called. They look like little baby coconuts. That's the only way I can explain them. And they have some really cool texture. So I was gluing these little fun things into my bird nest that I found in this little potpourri bag. At least my bird nest is going to smell vanilla fresh. Even though it was struggling to begin with, it's coming together. So y'all remember in the beginning I was trying to glue potpourri in the base of my little container? Well, it's buried somewhere underneath there, never to be seen again. You know, sometimes you have these visions and they just don't pan out, but the memory of that potpourri will always be in the bottom of this container. So I'm just trying to figure this out as I go. Again, I had a vision, and the vision did not come to fruition, obviously. So here I'm just kind of taking things and just piecing things together. I found my little coconut thing I was looking for. And so it has like these little fibers on the outside. So all I did was take the little fibers and kind of shred it and pull it off of this little baby coconut potpourri thing. And I just shoved that into the nest because that looked like something a little birdie would have picked up. It almost even looks like bird feathers. So I just tuck that on in there. Use my spray adhesive. Add some more. If y'all know the real name for these little things, y'all can let me know. Maybe it was some kind of, like, nutshell or something in its past life, but I think it's cuter if we refer to them as baby coconuts. So here I'm using my spray adhesive. You'd think I was spraying some hair. I guess that's all those years in cosmetology school and doing hair. So again, I found another Little baby coconut. I'm just going to shred it, pull it apart, get those little fibers, and glue it in that nest. And again, using my hairspray technique from cosmetology school to use that spray adhesive and spray those little fibers in there. So now the fun part. I got these little eggs. And these are actually little glittery styrofoam eggs that I had picked up at the Dollar Tree. And all I did was take some chalk paint and paint them white using that plaster color Waverly brand. And then I took the mineral color from Waverly brand paint and I just kind of dabbled some of that paint on the outside to give it a textured look so they looked like realistic little eggs. So I thought it looked cute with 3 little eggs in there. So of course you gotta have your hot glue gun and hot glue those little eggs on in there. And they really do look like real little eggs. So cute. And don't ask me from what kind of bird, but they look real. Cute, cute, cute. So glue those little eggs in. Get those little pesky hot glue strings. And finally, this is looking like something. Earlier it was a hot mess. So then I grabbed some little twigs from a little grapevine wreath and I was trying to add those to my nest. Now, I need to learn just sometimes to quit when I'm ahead, but y'all know me. I always do a little more than I need to. So here I am trying to stick some twigs in, and every darn little piece of grapevine I grabbed broke. So I'd put in a piece and it would break, and I'd put in another piece and it would break. But here I am, determined. And I did get a few little twigs in there, which in the end didn't really make a huge difference. But, you know, sometimes you just have these visions, and my vision at the moment was, I'm just going to put this grapevine in here. Oh, goodness. And of course, there they go, breaking on me again. Should have learned my lesson like forever ago, but y'all know me. So, gave up on the grapevine. And then it was time to be nitpicky and just get that bird nest how I wanted it. And then I remembered I never glued my bird nest in, so I thought, well, maybe I should add some hot glue and start gluing this thing in so it doesn't fall out. Sometimes I do things backwards. A lot of times, actually, I do things backwards. So, of course, I needed to grab some more moss, so I just kept adding moss till I got it where I wanted it. And digging for more potpourri treasures. I don't really know what I was looking for. I found another little baby coconut. And these are actually kind of fun and stress relieving to tear apart. That was fun, just pulling that stuff apart. You could probably start a fire with that stuff too. So again, I just tucked that in my bird nest. And it looked really cute. I should have went outside and found me a little feather to put in my nest. That'd be cute too. Maybe I can add that later. So here I am again with my cosmetology hairspray form. Spraying that little nest in place with my spray adhesive. And of course it needed a little more something. So I grabbed another little piece of that little floral bouquet that I had originally cut out and tucked it in there behind that nest, which did add a cute little finishing touch. And the good thing about this floral bouquet is it was kind of easy to manipulate and go the direction that I wanted it to go. And I do love it because it does look like little wildflowers and even lavender with some eucalyptus, and so it's a beautiful bouquet. And against that little tin, the flower and garden tin that we aged, it looked gorgeous. So again, I'm just securing my bird nest in. So in the end, I was happy that my topiary failed, because the vision that I had for that topiary obviously didn't work out, but this was actually prettier than what I had envisioned originally. So I think next time I do a bird nest topiary, I just need to try it on a smaller scale and do little mini topiaries. So again, I'm just manipulating those little pieces of greenery in there and trying to get those to just go the direction that I want them to go. So I had these little extra pieces of like grass, we'll call it, these little stems. And I gotta use everything, so I was just looking for a place that I like those and decided to stick those there in the back, so we hot glued those in. And y'all see I'm upstairs. I don't have a craft room at my house. I have like a loft area upstairs, which is awesome because nobody ever really goes upstairs except for me or my husband or my daughter when they need something. So I get to go up there and craft away, and if I make a mess and I'm too tired to clean it up, it's upstairs and nobody sees it, so I can just clean it up later. So I took these little pieces of grass and kind of looped them together and grabbed my green floral tape and just taped it so it would stay in that little loop shape. And just trying to decide where it goes. Now, floral arrangements are something that I really like to do. They're a lot of fun. And my mother is actually a professional florist. So she has taught me some tips and tricks over the years. And so growing up, I got to always watch her make things and make arrangements. And so I took this after her. And of course, I'm nowhere near as good as Mom, but I still really enjoy making these arrangements. So I found a cute little spot to tuck in those little grass blades, and I'm just determined to put more potpourri in this thing. I don't know, maybe I was just smelling the vanilla fumes and it was making me a little loopy. So I kept trying to add some potpourri. I should have just gave up on the potpourri. And so here's where I'm just being nitpicky again and just trying to get this greenery to lay exactly how I want and go in the right place. And it would not cooperate because why would it? Nothing else cooperated with me. So I was like, well, it'll be fine. Let's just shove some more moss in there. If in doubt, shove moss in there. And that's what I did. And it worked just fine. More potpourri, y'all. I'm telling you. Me and this potpourri. Again, I'm like trying to put it in the same spot, and I just tried that. Melissa, do not put the potpourri right there. Give up, honey. Just give up. Give up. Yeah, no. Why did I even try again? And that leaf, that thing's just gonna go where it wants to go. Finally. So this is the final look. I took some grapevine and just made a little handle out of it to add to it. I felt like it needed a little something extra. Just like me, because I tend to be a little extra. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this DIY. Y'all will have to let me know what you think. And of course, subscribe for more DIYs.